Norah O'Donnell was one of the big faces of this White House Correspondents' Dinner. She was out there, mugging for the camera. CBS News, of course, was at the center of all of this because it's Trump's new favorite news network, thanks to David Ellison making the news network much more MAGA friendly. So she landed a very important interview with the president following the shooting at the dinner. And she, I guess, had the nerve to read from the gunman's manifesto, and the president did not care for that.
He also wrote this: "I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I was
these are
never,
the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
What a weak human being.
I was really struck by the fact that we've been dealing with Trump as a political figure since 2015. And it seems like the mainstream media still has not figured out how to deal with him. I mean, she seemed befuddled by his reaction. And Norah O'Donnell, for whatever criticism, that I may have of her, is a seasoned journalist and has interviewed, figures from around the world for decades. And yet this probably, Donald Trump is an open book when it comes to how he's going to react when he is attacked and when he's dealing with the media. And yet she seemed just at a loss to how to deal with the fact that she was being told that she was horrible to her face and how to regain control of this interview.
Yeah, you put it that way, and it's something. The befuddlement, I think, is a big part of this story because his reaction is not. It was the reaction that we all knew he was going to give, but she was, I feel like a lot of reporters don't ask hard questions because they don't like being called jerks or, they don't like being insulted or that kind of thing. And I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you need to go into a different line of work.
Yeah. It was an interesting moment when she's like, well, he didn't say it was about you. And, just kind of like catching him there. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He was clearly extremely defensive. But I mean, we've talked about this, Sam, that there definitely is a section of the population that, and some of them are MAGA, that are really disturbed by these Epstein allegations and the fact that the Trump Department of Justice has not acted transparently. They haven't followed the law. Nobody's been brought to justice. And I do think that this goes to a larger crisis that a lot of us are feeling in America, where there is no accountability. And unfortunately, some people have decided to take the law into their own hands, like this gunman. And when you have a culture where it's so easy to get a gun, where political violence is being normalized, it really does make you concerned about the times that we're living in. And
yeah, well, look, I think it all goes back to this entire conversation. I think the shooting the potential shooting at the Correspondents' Dinner, the war in Iraq, All of this, it goes back to how we perceive and promote violence in the country over democratic norms.
Right.
And I think that's actually a good transition to bring in our guest, who is fighting for democratic norms. And the accountability piece, you don't hold people accountable through violence. It's just not how any of this should work. You hold them accountable at the ballot box, through the legal system. That we have these mechanisms. You don't go to a place and shoot anyone. That's not how we do it.